The first question is, has the rise of Christianity among the Igbos come at the expense of Igbo culture?
I also think the concept amongst Igbos, and I think amongst Nigerians in general, the idea of juju, the idea of black magic, I think that is heavily part of like the kind of European agenda to demonize and kind of homogenize what are complex native African religions and complex and unique. To say anybody who practices native religion is doing juju, that is a massive kind of generalization of specific, unique, different African religions, and it comes from a place of a European man coming to a continent he doesn't understand and saying, this is what you do? No. Put that aside. This is how we're going to do things now. And I think in terms of Christianity helping remove certain cultures, but you see with the rise of Christianity you have new kind of backwards regressive cultures. So whereas we're not throwing away twins anymore, you have parts of Igbo land and parts of Nigeria, you have witch hunt amongst children, you have children being demonized called witches, you have people not seeking scientific and medical and healthcare because they're praying over it, and you have all sorts of new kind of contemporary cultures which are just as backwards and just as regressive as what we were doing 100 years ago. So I don't know if Christianity has been this kind of shining beacon of kind of progressiveness amongst us and amongst Nigeria.
Prior to when it actually got introduced in Nigeria, the Igbos had something called the Ofo. And the Ofo, what it is what the Bible is to the Christians. So for example, vulnerable members of the society, they would actually use the Ofo to console themselves because they know that with the fear of the Ofo, they won't really be maltreated by people in the society. And I feel like, who are you to come into my country to tell me that what I'm worshipping is evil? Like who are you to come to my country and then tell me that, my gods have eyes but they cannot see, they have ears but they cannot hear, but actually you've never seen your God before, you've never felt your God before. This God I'm seeing it here, it's more about my spirituality. And I also feel like it's affecting our development, because in this country, for example, they brought the Christianity, but we see how they're progressing. Half of them don't even believe in it anymore, and like even the ones that actually believe, it's very spiritual to them. But with us, we're carrying it like it's like your forefathers did not invent Christianity; it was forced down to you.
I'm sure I'll.
Do you want to go? You go because you're pressed.
So, from my standpoint, I very much agree with what Chids and Tochi have been saying, and I feel like our essence and our culture is so inextricably linked to religion, because even the way religion's taken over in the places that we are now, it's so pervasive, it's a daily part of your life. And Mark was saying earlier that all of our names have something to do with God in it. However, when the British specifically came over to Nigeria, their reason for offering us Christianity wasn't to give us salvation. It was to break down the cultures, break down the structures that opposed them. Because our preachers, our priests, our leaders in our religions were the people who stood against them, the people who empowered people to go forward, the same way the priest and the pastor from the pulpit do today, by motivating people on a Sunday to say, you know what, you can keep going Monday through to Friday. Those were the same people that they took, shipped overseas or killed publicly to make an example. And then they tied our religion to their religion, because in traditional Igbo religion, we don't have a devil. What we call a Kwensu now is a trickster deity who is there to teach you the difference between making bad decisions and good decisions. It's not necessarily punishment, because you make a choice that is against the norms of the religion you follow, and there's a consequence.
I think I'm just going to expand on the fact that, like I said, I think it's not as simplistic as saying yes or no. Culture is bigger than just your religion. Culture is there's so many different things. First of all, things in terms of the patriarchy in our society amongst the Igbo people, that still heavily exists, and that is our culture. No?
You don't think Christianity has
It has impacted on it.
No, wait, let me finish. In Igbo culture, the man has and always will own the father's land after he dies. That was not brought about amongst by Christianity. Men will go outside of their marriage till today to seek a son. Men will have 20, 50, 30 children so they find that son they're looking for. That didn't start when Christianity came around. That is our culture. That's one aspect. Breaking of kola nuts still heavily exists. Yes, we may not pour libations out to our ancestors, but when you go amongst Igbo men, the first thing they'll do is Kaiwaji. That means let us break the kola nut before we speak. Traditional marriage still exists, and amongst traditional Igbo society, if two people are married in the traditional setting, they're husband and wife, you can go home and make all the sex you want to make that night. That didn't change by Christianity. People still believe that. Christianity has, of course it's changes, but culture itself evolves. It would be problematic for us as Igbo people if our culture did not evolve based on the things we've been exposed to. And Christianity has changed and evolved our culture. But let us not sit back and say that, okay, our old religions were perfect. You were throwing away kids into evil forests because they were twins. Of course, every religion has its problems and every religion has its salvation and its redeeming factors. But we cannot ignore the issues we had in our culture that Christianity changed and helped evolve. So I don't think we can sit here and just say, oh, it's all been negative and it's all been bad. So many of us here wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for the fact that our culture evolved and changed.
Yeah, but you're colonized, that's why I was here.
Wow, bars. So I just want to, Joel said something really interesting that just made me think a little. So the main thing about Christianity is that Christianity is saying that essentially that man has fallen short from grace. So everyone has fallen short from being perfect. He's saying that you see a serial killer on the newspaper and you think he's definitely not Igbo. But what if he's Igbo? That's the thing. The thing is here is that we're all guilty of something. That's what Christianity is saying. We're all guilty of something, whether you think it's like, we're all guilty of something that everyone would consider bad. So what Christianity is saying is that you can have this forgiveness and all you have to do is believe. So what I'm trying to say is that Christianity has brought this like moral compass, has given us this moral compass that like saying that as long as we believe in this God, as long as we believe, we don't want to do something that offends this God, because that this God has already forgiven us even though we're not perfect.
Just to quickly respond to what Nene said about patriarchy amongst Igbo culture, I find it offensive and asinine. I find it personally offensive and asinine the idea that Christianity came and evolved patriarchy in Igbo culture. The Europeans, who were basically using their women as livestock, the idea where women had zero rights in medieval in Europe, where you have a religion that's told you that a woman committed the original sin, which damned us all. A religion that told you that a woman is subordinate to the man, and the man is only subordinate to God. How dare you come and say that Christianity has evolved? Christianity is the pinnacle of patriarchy within modern Igbo culture.
I didn't say that.
No, but I just.
The issue is through history and Christianity, we've been judging Christianity just based by the extremes. Just it happens even today in the media. Look at Islam and extremists, and you think, yeah, that's just Islam. You know, Christianity it's not as bad as how history makes it out to be. We're just taking these few incidences and we're judging the whole of Christianity by it. I think you need to look at the day-to-day people and see how they live their lives. Yes, there's been atrocities committed in the name of Christianity, but then those individuals haven't read the Bible properly. Let me finish. You can use anything, even with the Igbo culture, you can use it for good or you can use it for bad. There's been many incidents, once again, shooting at patriarchy and women being suppressed. So I think, again, we shouldn't go by the extremes. And there was something else you mentioned now. I forget what, but I'll come back to it. No, Adam. Adam was held responsible. Eve may have given the fruit to Adam, but Adam was held responsible. He was the man. So regardless of it all, it's the man. No. That's what's with Adamic nature. They say Adam sinned, Adam fell. When it happened, God came to Adam and said, what happened?
So a woman commits a crime, I go to jail.
Sorry, Mark, that is patriarchy 101. A woman makes an autonomous decision and God says, you're responsible, you're a man.
was on his job.
It means the man was on his job. So it means the man needs to step up.
All right, okay.
Why am I my guy, man?
Can I just say, I never said that Christianity came and cleared up patriarchy. What I was speaking on was some of the cultural things that we still hold important to us. You cannot sit here and say that Igbo culture is not more patriarchal than it is in the Western culture. You can't say that, can you? No. So let me say something to you. As an Igbo woman, and I've gone to boarding school in Yoruba land before. As an Igbo woman, more than in any other part of Nigeria, that is where you'll find a woman's identity so steadfastly held to whether she's married or not.
Because we have the highest population of Christians.
Let me finish. No. Even if you read Things Fall Apart, it may not be factual, but this was based upon things that happened.
You say the reason.
But what I'm trying to say to you is that despite I'm trying to explain to you aspects of our culture that haven't died down despite Christianity coming along. This is what I'm trying to say to you, that even now, it doesn't matter what heights you reach. As an Igbo woman, people still turn around and say to you, oh, when will you marry? Why don't you have a husband? When all of these things are still held important, it doesn't matter what I become tomorrow. I could be the president of Nigeria. If my dad has land in Obosi, I will not inherit it. Someone else will. So you cannot tell me that Igbo culture is not still there. These things still matter. Men will still go and marry second wives, whether they live in UK, US, Nigeria, they'll have children outside. They will go back to Nigeria on business trips just to find a son.
Let me just finish. Let me just say something really quick. So, based on what you said, I actually feel like, okay, yeah, the Christianity heightened a lot of, so the patriarchy that we have, it has heightened it. It has heightened. And to me, to be honest with you, the Christianity is actually there to oppress women and keep poor people poor. Like, let me tell you something. Why are you telling me to work to focus on this God's kingdom that I even have no proof that it actually exists? Work for God's kingdom, and then all of a sudden I will get my reward in heaven.
How is it?
But why can't I live my life now?
Okay, who in the audience had a comment? The mic doesn't go. You have to project your voice.
Oh, I was just gonna say that the points that everybody it's true that there are nuances and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I just wanted to say that I don't know how much knowledge people have about women before Christianity, but there were a lot. I don't know about everybody's family and what they did and what they couldn't do, but there were a lot of women that held power, very, very high power in Igbo land before Christianity. There were women that were educated, even when you think about Umuada, Umuwai, the groups that we've had and the crowd that we had in terms of when you get married or rules for certain things. If you didn't want something to happen, the women would get together and say, okay, from now on, for the next month, the next week, we're not cooking, we're not sleeping with our men, we're not doing this, we're not doing that, things will change. And not just
the lack of power, as far as I'm concerned. Why should your only voice come from whether you sleep with your husband?
That's not I haven't finished. It's also the way that Christianity has been introduced to Igbo people. Because if we were introduced to it and they gave it to us in the most loving way, fine. Mm-hmm. But if you're introducing it to Igbo people and you're killing them and raping them and you're crushing them and telling them they have to change themselves, there is evilness in that, which is more of the European people.